it doesn't happen. And so it's a contribution from both sides. And this one you really cannot tell. Okay? So thank you so much for coming out to share your story with us. Okay? Yeah. What a brave lady.
Thank you.
Hey, stay there, sweetheart. Any burning questions? Yes, sweetheart.
I have a question about the father's relationship with his sons, or with the two sons, rather. Throughout your story, it was mentioned that, or rather, you mentioned that you were basically acting as middleman between the sons, or your sons, and the father.
Mm-hmm.
But surely they must have interacted with the father. So my question basically is, how did the relationship between the father and the sons change from before your two sons came out to after?
I think they both have what I would say an okay relationship with their father. He's accepted them. He's not like, I don't think he acts ashamed or anything. I'm not sure how close the relationship is. I don't know how close the relationship, but they both, of course, still maintain a relationship with their father. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do your husband come to know about the first son?
So we didn't keep it quiet for 10,000 years. My oldest son decided, I think
over dinner.
After he finished his O-levels, he actually went to do his A-levels in a boarding school in England. And I never really asked him this, but I suspect there might have been some counseling going on in that school. So he might have gained some self-confidence. And so when he came back one summer, we were having dinner and he told his father over dinner. Yeah.
And was just straight to the point.
Yes.
So the 4 letter were replace mommy with daddy.
Yes.
Okay, and what was daddy's reaction?
I think at that stage he already suspected, I think.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay. What makes you say that he suspected?
And then after that he came, he actually said to me that he had suspected that there was something different about our older son.
Okay.
And he said that his mother told him that. So my mother-in-law.
The mother,
the grandmother
told him that something
was different about my older son. She never told me, but she told me.
Did you find out eventually what did she tell him? That something wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
What was it? Did she ever reveal it eventually?
I don't want to say it here, but
okay. I'm sorry. Just to answer your question, sweetheart, handsome man. According to the story, the father was actually supportive so much so that he agreed to appear in one of the publicity flyers that the child was doing some. So he is supportive in that sense. Yeah. Did we answer your question? Did she answer your question, sweetheart? Okay. Anything else? Question? Yes, sweetheart.
Oh yes, Dr. Khoo. I had read your story in SQ, and then coincidentally, 10 years ago that you our interview by Decent Friday, 2nd of September 2015.
Was it?
2005.
2005. Oh.
Yes. And you asked your No, I really enjoy reading the story because I think you put your heart and soul to write it out. Because to write something, even for me, is a million times more difficult than to say. Because if I say something and you say, oh, Mr. Wong, you say that, oh, sorry, I forgot. But when you write something, you can't forget. And thank you for your bravery that 10 years ago you wrote, and I like that you said gay people are people and they are our children. And that's why you said something like, our children, their life, they are to please themselves. Of course, between the logical limit, and not to please the parents. I really like the quotation. You are so open-minded, Because I find that many parents, they are very possessive of their children, and they want their children to be like, this chair or this camera tripod must be this and that. So they are really engineered or have a sort of a bet out what their children will be like. Like some of my relatives, they hope that in this year, the dragon year, they will have a dragon grandchild and all this. Of course, I'm very open-minded. I don't want to dash your hope. For all you know, your son or your daughter could be G or L. Okay? Yeah. No, it's not that I wish them evil, but such things do happen. And I think we should educate parents. If I dare to go one step further for premarital counseling, we may have to tell the couple, or in the hospital, we have to warn the couple that your children could be LGBTQ and whatever.
That should probably be one of the topics that's included in the counseling. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done. Okay, but 10 years ago when you came up with that.
10 years ago.
Yes, I forgot it was 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
And to clarify, I actually didn't write that story.
Oh.
I was actually interviewed by Yi Shen, who is the editor of that book.
SQ21.
But I had your permission.
Yes, of course. Then he wrote out that story based using my voice.
Oh.
But he, of course, let me read it first, and I approved it. Yeah. So.
Okay. But 10 years ago to write this story is amazing. At that time you can imagine how, sorry I use the word, how homophobic this country is. Things are slightly better, but we still have quite a way to go. So, well done. Any other questions?
So may I just ask you see what is the chances of having two siblings who are L or G? Do you have some figure for me to like anchor on? It might be a bit far-fetched, but better than to show them.
I think there are some published figures. It is actually, there is a correlation. The chances of two siblings being gay or lesbian is actually higher than just random.
Oh, higher.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. So there is some familial
Genetic or what?
Right.
connection.
No, because I'm not wrong, I read somewhere that this so-called homosexuality is just like sexual left-handedness. Because 3% of our population are left-handed. So if you can accept that, because it's nothing to do with sex, that's using the left hand. But when it comes to sex, it's sensitive. So it's quite safe to say that also roughly 3% of the population are homosexuals. Of course, I can't prove it.
It's hard because people are not necessarily very open, so we don't really have a fixed percentage. But I like your, this what you were saying about left-handedness. That is also familiar. So if you go see a family, the siblings, if you see if parents are left-handed, the chances are higher that the children will be left-handed. Same thing, with siblings. The chances are definitely higher. So that is definitely genetic.
But of course, the loophole that it's not likely that homosexual will produce children. But the exception is in China, because in the old days, homosexuals and so on in China, they are also so-called forced to get married. So they can have the sexual so-called union just to carry on the family life. But later on, this so-called homosexual married husbands are actually gay, and they may engage privately the point or the gardener or the one that helps them in the housework. They very likely they might have some affair.
Okay,
So,
that's a possibility. It's a possibility. Cool. Good. Any other questions? No? Yes, go ahead. Don't be shy.
One of the considerations for me to come up to my parents was that once they know that I'm gay, how are they going to handle the relatives' questions about what's happening to your son? And then in the past, before I came up to them, they could just say, no, that he doesn't have a girlfriend yet. But now that he knew, after I come out, they would have known that now I'm gay, and how are they going to cope with the relatives' questions? And what? I mean, was it a struggle for you as well?
It depends on who the relatives are.
So my screen through first. Okay, share with us, the audience, what did you do at your time? I think you wrote your story too.
Yeah, so I think, with friends it's easier. You can still say, for me it was easier. They're still abroad. I have no idea whether they have any special girlfriends or partners yet. But with relatives, it depends who the relatives are. You have to see whether they're accepting or not. But I want to share this about my brother. I have two brothers. So one of my brothers is, I'm not sure whether he's still very Christian, but he used to be a Christian.
Okay.
And so what he said to me was, I don't accept homosexuality, but they are my nephews and I love them anyway. So that's what he said.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, that's good to know.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, that it does. I mean, I guess your situation is really, I would say, the ideal parents.
Yeah, but even for Dr. Khoo, she still has to do some kind of self-censorship.
Right.
If it's to this auntie, that one leaked out, the whole world will know. She only reveals it to the ones that are discreet, that are open-minded. So there's still some kind of limit to how much can be revealed and all that. Must have been tough for you for a few years to have to keep that facet going on and all that. Oh God, okay, good thing. Okay, any other questions? Yes, sweetheart. Whoa, the checkered boy all the way at the back.
No, I'm just curious, what's your attitude towards homosexuality before you had children or before your sons came out to you?
Oh, interesting.
My attitude, okay. I think, I mentioned I went to an all-women's college, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very sort of accepting place. So, and then when I, start thinking back, or when I was growing up in a, I'm not being coherent here. Let me step back a little bit.
Yeah.
So my college professor, who was my thesis supervisor, so one summer I went back to college early because I wanted to start working on my research project. So she was very kind, she let me stay in her house. So I knew that there was another woman who lived in the same house as her because I'd been there for dinner parties before that I had met her.
Right.
So I went to stay in the house, and then I discovered there was only one bedroom, there's only one double bed in there. Okay? So I started thinking, okay. So anyway, from there I sort of realized that they must have been in a relationship. Lovely couple.
Right.
But to me, it didn't, it was not like, to me it was like normal, it's okay, they're very, very nice people. And then when I started thinking back about, acceptance and all that, it's, when I was growing up there in the village that I was growing up in, there's always these rumors of, not rumors, there was somebody who we always say like a tomboy. And she would occasionally have girlfriends, we could see, but nobody would actually say anything bad about this. We would just say, her name, she's very tomboyish. And then there was this guy who was a postman. And my mother's generation, they all like to play mahjong and tiki. And he would come and join them. And then they would always say he's very, and he would be the only guy there playing with all these women, the games. And then, so my mother would always, would always talk about him as he's very chabohing, But and he was very, very nice though. He was, we all knew that he lived at home, looked after his mother, his elderly mother, and there was no prejudice against him. He would come and, we would all know him as the postman. We always call him postman. There was no real phobia or whispering about how horrible he was and all. He was just accepted. So that, I don't know whether it's people don't say things or
it could be an unwritten, unspoken word, just that we accept it as it is. Was that how you feel?
Yeah, and then also I also have another second cousin, I think, and who would, she obviously didn't get married, she would bring her girlfriends home.
Right.
And my mother would talk about her and say, she she's got another girlfriend now.
Okay.
Yeah. So sort of accepting lah. So I knew from there that my mother was also quite accepting.
Right. So I think in your case it's because you have been exposed sort of in that sense to these people. You come into contact with them.
Yeah.
They are nice people. You don't see it as an issue, but you already sort of suspect. Okay, they probably are, but you know what? They're nice people.
Yeah, I
That's
think
beside the concern.
maybe I grew up in a household where my parents never ever said anything bad about these people. You know, it wasn't like, look at this guy, so, they would just use the word jaboheng lah, but it wasn't used in a
Crude way, nasty way. Okay, that's interesting. Does that answer the question? Yeah? So I think before that, Dr. Khoo's experience, exposure to GLBTs was already there to some extent. So maybe it helped her as a parent eventually that leads to her own case. She was a little bit more, she's more accepting of it. Yeah. Good. Any other questions? This is always the scary part. The 7-second silence. To learn to master it. No question? Sure. Once you step down, no chance already. You ask the question, must pay $5. Yes, oh my god. Okay. Yes. Don't worry, ask.
Okay. It seems that some religions, I don't know whether I can use the word condemn homosexuality, but not all religions condemn homosexuality. Although I don't study all the theology and so on, when I'm trying to be a bit smart only, let's say if I were to tell parents that they are open-minded, if next time, if you find out that your children are so-called homosexual, LGBT, it would be advisable for you to give them guidance or get help that they shouldn't so-called adopt a religion that condemns their very existence. No, I'm not just sharing only. I do not know what an enlightened mom like Professor Khoo were to say, as though I am discriminating religion. Actually, it's the other way around as well. There are two sides to the coin.
Yeah.
I may be discriminating religion, but at the same time, religion also discriminates, but not all religions, certain religions. I can't name them.
Yeah, and there are, practitioners, believers in every religion who accept
I know.
people regardless. So that there will always be people who are not religious who are also homophobic.
Yep.
I know.
So there's always that. So I wouldn't put the blame only on religion. Of course, unfortunately, there are some people, religious leaders, who openly come out and spouse, rather homophobic.
Last year the Wear White campaign or something like that.
So unfortunately there are, but I wouldn't just broad brush and say every religious person like that. It's not true. It's not true. Yeah.
I think just know that in terms of religion, it gets a bit more tricky. It's a bit more sensitive. Just know that there are always, I suppose, what you call it, the left wing and the right wing kind of thingy, and some that in between. There are religions that out there that are very acceptant of LGBTs, but there are those that actually use it as a form of attack to condemn us. So it's just to keep yourself aware who is the one that accepts us and who doesn't, so you know who to go to in that sense. Okay? Any other questions? Yes, sweetheart. The second question. I'm going to buy 4D today, see whether I'll strike.
I was wondering what triggered Dr. Khoo to go public with a story, and how did the son take to her going public with a story?
Well done.
Okay, so that's 2005. That's 2005. Let me think back. Trying to think of the sequence of events. 2005. Yeah. So I knew my sons are very open. They were already in university and active in their the gay community in the university. So they're quite open. And then the nice story session with the reason I got interviewed for this book was, I don't know whether Juhim remembers. And so Juhim's brother is gay, right? We all know that.
Right.
And what had happened was, I didn't know Juhim's brother at that time, but Juhim and I knew each other because we were both in Aware. Juhim's brother was leaving and there was a farewell party for him.
Right.
Juhim invited me. So I just go along to a farewell party for something I don't know. And at the party, I met the person who was going to produce the book. They already thought about writing a book of real stories being told, shared by LGBT people,
Right.
and they had invited Yishen to write that book. And so I was at the dinner party and I was sitting across the table from this person who was doing this. And I guess maybe then he heard, I guess I must have shared that I have 2 sons, and he, at that moment, I'm assuming that he didn't know ahead of time that I was going to be there.
Right.
And at that party, he asked me, would you mind sharing your story? I'm going to write a book like this. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's through his connection and me just going to a farewell party with somebody that I don't even know. So that's how it arose. And then, of course, I asked. So, the world is quite small, right? So Yishen, of course, also knows my sons because they went to the same school. So then I knew Yishen already from that, from him being in the same school as my sons. And so I was comfortable talking with him. And I, of course, got my son's permission first. I told them that I was going to do this. And they said, sure, go ahead.
Right. Was it helpful in terms of you writing your story that your 2 sons by that time were already overseas? Or that was not that was of no concern?
No, it wasn't a concern for me. Yeah.
Interesting. Very good question, sweetheart. Any more? Question number 3? No? Very good. You ask intelligent questions. Okay. Anything else? Yes, sweetheart.
How many of your colleagues at Yale and US now know that you have 2 gay sons, and your former colleagues at US? And how often does it crop up in your conversation with them in the tea room? Or do you just try to keep it as quiet as possible? And have they seen my videos on YouTube that I've loaded of you?
Thank you.
So when that book came out in 2005, I guess now, there was a feature in the Straits Times. I was actually interviewed by the Straits Times. And so then when I went to work, I discovered, of course, who are the people who are friendly and who are the people who are not. Yeah, so several of my colleagues actually came up to me and were very, very open and told me how proud they were of me and that I'm so supportive of my sons. And then, of course, I have another colleague who then started telling me about Leviticus verse whatever.
Right.
Yeah, so I just said, well, that's what you believe. I'm not Christian. I don't necessarily believe that.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, she's okay. She and I are still good friends. We're still colleagues. But she has her beliefs and I have mine. So that's fine. Yeah.
So when that story...
Okay, so that was my NUS experience. And then Yale NUS, of course, I assume everybody knows what Yale NUS college is, right? Fairly liberal in a sense.
Yeah.
So I suspect everybody knows. There is a student group there called G-Spot, and I've talked at their events. Here in the US is very accepting of LGBT people. We have a few gay couples, few lesbian couples amongst the staff and the faculty, and it's all, people are very accepting. Nobody thinks that it's out of the ordinary at all. Yeah.
Okay. Does that answer your question? Yeah?
So how often do you talk about these things?
What is that?
They don't bring it up. They know and that's it. It doesn't from time to time crop up during your conversations during tea time or something like that.
I guess, if we talk about things like, oh, it's so exciting to go to Pink Dot, are you going? And we're all going, and then I will say things like, yeah, I'm going because I have a booth there, we have a safe booth. Yeah, so that's what we talk about. It's like, we just assume everybody is absolutely okay with it. So there's no worry about, maybe I shouldn't say this in front of this person. I don't worry about that at all. Yeah.
Nice.
Wonderful.
That's interesting.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I think that's the kind of environment LGBTs would hope to have one day to be able to create. And then, just out of curiosity, this is difficult, but coming from a straight standpoint of view, do you have a scenario where, hey, your son, how? Got man or not? Don't have. Come, my son is single and available. Does it happen? Or has it come to that stage yet?
Well, as I said, I openly shared my two sons already have partners, so that's why I don't think that happens. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, good. Well done. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Yeah.
So for just to add on, I think last year near the Pink Dot, I think one NUS lecturer, I don't know in which faculty, posted something, is it against lesbian or something of that sort? I can't recall. Maybe somebody can elaborate.
Yeah, there was.
So what I mean is that sometimes a person's level of education is not an indication of his personal, how to say, homophilia or homophobia or neutral.
Yeah, of course. People still, well, there are many things that, I mean, just because a person has a PhD doesn't mean they know everything about everything.
Yeah.
No.
True.
Yeah.
Good. Any other questions? Okay, so this is it. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
for coming up.